Hey y'all, it's Jen for The Love of Iris. Welcome back to another video. Today's project is this one. It is an old project that's been around for 100 years, but I wanted to create one of these sweet little purses. It's like a purse mini album for some coworkers who just had babies. Of course, this one is for my friend who just had a boy, Cooper, sweet baby. And then I'm going to make a girl one for my friend who just had a little girl, Lizzie. So you need one piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. You're going to use just about every bit of it. So if you have some paper you want to use to get your stash dwindled down, this is the perfect opportunity. You can make them for Mother's Day, for Christmas, any kind of designer series paper that you have. You can make these albums for that, base that album on the paper. So what you want to do is you want to take your 12 by 12 piece of paper and you want to cut it at 8. Okay? All right. This is our main piece. We're going to set that aside so we can finish cutting. This piece here, the 4-inch strip, we're going to cut to 8 3/4. Okay? Save this because this piece we're going to use to cover our magnets. All right? So we've got two pieces now. We've got an 8 by 12 and a 4 by 8 3/4. Let's work on the 8 by 12 piece first. On the 8-inch side, you're going to score it in half at 4. This is so easy, but it's so much fun. And then on the 12-inch side, you're going to score every 3 inches. So 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 9. That's it. We are done. Now, go ahead and reinforce your score line. It doesn't have to be extremely precise or tight because we want this album to kind of bend a bit, and if you make it with your bone folder, it has a tendency to get too stiff. So we just want to lightly fold it. Okay, so now we've got all these panels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to cut along this middle line through 3 of the panels, leaving this last panel intact. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to flip it over because it's easier for me to see on the gold side. I like this paper because it's super thick. It was some type of specialty paper from, I think, Stampin' Up, but I don't remember. But I like it because it's really thick. It's double-sided, and they had pink and blue, so that's why I picked it. All right, so now we've got this loose, that loose, and this together. We're going to fold it together in half so that your main side is out. And then you want to concertina fold this. So mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, or valley, mountain, valley, whatever. And do the same on the other side. So now you've got your little book. Okay? So we are going to create our pages now. So if you look at my original, it has some tabs that you can pull out little cards. Top, side, top. We're going to create those now. So taking your paper like this, your pieces together like this, so your fold here that's connected is at the top, okay? And this front piece you're going to leave alone. Let me grab my hole punch. These two pieces are going to be your very first top page. So you want to punch this here to tell yourself, oh yeah, this is where the tag goes, all right? So we've got a blank one, we've got a top one. Now this piece here that's kind of the floppy one, we're going to turn this, oops, it's this way. Well, it doesn't really matter. But this piece into your side piece. So this piece that's open here, less tent, don't do it on this side like I was going to because you have too many pages. So just this loose one here, we're going to punch on the side. Okay. And I'm just using a, what did I say, 1.5? Did I hit y'all with that? Okay. So then this last one is our last one. We're going to punch again at the top. Once you get this and make one, you'll see it's super easy. Okay, so now we've got our 3 pages, quote unquote. We've got the 2 here at the top, 1 at the bottom, and then these 2 are going to be what we use to adhere our book to our purse. Okay, so now we need to glue this down, and I prefer liquid glue simply because tear and tape is, or not tear and tape, but score tape is a bit too thick, and you won't be able to get your pieces in there. So on this first one, here's our indent. We don't need any glue at the score because that's already connected. So we want glue on the opposite side of the score. And this is just Tombow in my fine tip glue bottle. And then we want it at the bottom. Okay, so these 2 sides, we want glue. And just press those together. Alright, so that's our first pocket. Now let's work on our side punch. Alright, the side punch. Again, same thing. You don't really need adhesive here, and you don't need it here because that folds. So we just want it at the bottom on our side punch. Okay? Very thin bead of glue. Just at the bottom. Okay. See how that created that back piece and you didn't even need any glue there? Brilliant. Whoever invented this is brilliant. Okay, so now this is our last one. And again, we don't need glue at our fold. So we want to do it on the loose side and at the bottom. Okay. It's a bit early. I hope this lighting is alright. My alarm went off. It's Saturday. My alarm went off because I forgot to turn it off because I wasn't working. It woke me up at 5 o'clock. Luckily, we didn't play music last night, so a 5 o'clock morning was okay for me. We do have a wedding to play today, and then we play tonight in Madison, so that's going to be interesting. Alright, so now we've got our book. You've got your 3 pages, 2 top, 1 side, and then these 2 loose ones, okay? Now I'm going to just make sure that these are all stuck down. My glue has taken. And this is why I didn't reinforce it in the beginning, because you could reinforce it too much and then it won't have any give. Alright, so let's take this piece that we have here. This is our, 4 by 8 3/4. And we are going to place our book in there. Now make sure if your pattern is directional, you make sure you have your book, with your tabs to the top. And then I'm just going to place glue all along one of these loose strips here. And again, it doesn't matter which way you do it first. You just need to make sure that you pay attention to the direction. Okay? And then you want to leave the slightest of gaps down here at the bottom. Just because whoever you give this to is going to put stuff in it. That's the goal, right? So if they're putting stuff in there, we don't want to make it so tight that they have no room. So I'll show you what I mean by slightest of gaps. You see that? I bet it's not even 1/8 of an inch. And we want to reinforce this. Now I think the original designer of this put a ribbon in here so you could tie this together. I didn't. I didn't think it needed it, but if you want to put a ribbon in it, you would put the ribbon here on the back and then there on the other side and tie it up. But I think that this is actually just fine. And when you open it, you want to be able to open it. You don't want to have to fuss with a ribbon and untie it. That's my opinion. If y'all want a ribbon, by all means, put a ribbon. Okay, so now we've got, this is going to be the bottom part of our purse. So we're right here. See where we are? There. You can see my magnet. Okay, and then we just want to loosely fold. Again, loosely because we want to give room for the recipient to put their stuff in. And then loosely fold over. Okay? Again, don't score it. Don't burnish it too closely. And there we have it. There's our little purse. Now I decided I wanted to round these two corners here because I thought that it looked very nice. You can do it if you want to. You don't have to. I'm just using my corner chomper on the 1/2-inch corner round, but use whatever you have. And there is our sweet little purse. Now, let's get our magnets. And I've got these extremely strong magnets that can at times be a pain to work with, but I'll show you a trick. Trick. Trick, track, patty whack. So, first thing you want to do is put a glue dot on one of the magnets. Find the space you want it, and that looks good to me right there. And then I'm going to take this, remember this little piece that we saved? I'm going to take this and a 3/4 inch hole punch, and I'm going to punch out a cover for this magnet. I'm going to try to line it up as best I can. The other pattern was easier. I don't think I punched it in the right place, but guess what? It's going to do. It's not too bad, I don't guess. And then I put liquid glue all over it. Alright, just something strong that will cover up your magnet to your satisfaction. Looks fair. On my other one, I used a smaller magnet. I used the baby ones, so my piece of paper was actually able to kind of mush down. This one's not going to. It's just going to be raised. I am okay with that. Okay, now you want to take another glue dot, put it on your magnet, like so, and then attach the two magnets together. I put the glue dot on the wrong side. This is not how you're supposed to do it. Remember how I told you I was going to find an easy way to do it? This is not the way. Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay. Put the magnet on first, I reckon. Do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, see, I'm trying to put it down on the other direction. Okay. Now put your glue dot on. These things are super strong, too, boy. They do not play. And then close your little pouch. And that should be enough to separate your magnets and attach it to the right side of the other paper. Now I need to remove this because I did a boo-boo and I'll need a new one of these, and that is okay. We have plenty of extra room on our paper. So let's punch two of these. One for the bottom, one for the top. And we'll try it again. Glue on here. Lots and lots of glue on here. Okay. And then we want to make sure we flip this one over so that it's the gold side up, because you don't want to mess it up there and put the pink facing up, or whatever color paper you are using. And there's the gold one. And I'm going to set that aside and let that dry, and then I'll show you how well that worked. Let's work on our tag pieces. You're going to need 8 pieces of paper in a coordinating cardstock. I just used pink. That are 3 3/4 by 2 5/8. And I've used this little punch here to give myself some photo corners. If you don't have this, just adhere your paper straight, and your recipient can just glue their pictures in. No big deal. Okay, this one didn't quite punch right, so I'm going to use my corner chomper and round that one. Okay, so now that's all done. These guys are going to get glued into the inside, and I'll show you where. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we haven't glued this side down to our paper yet, so we can do that now. And actually, I think I glued this down a little crooked, so I'm going to have to trim off a bit. I did. And that is okay. So let's just trim off about a sliver, a skosh. So when we glue that down, it'll be even. That's perfect. Okay. And the way I like to do it on the back side here is put my glue again on our back flap, but then I want to close my book when I glue it down because I want to make sure that A, closes nicely, and B, make sure that there's enough room for your recipient to add photos or journaling cards or whatever it is that you think might work. And there is our magnet closure. It's a bit stronger than I wanted, so I'm probably going to have to make this a bit bigger. Adjust the size of my hole punch so that it covers my magnet, but we'll see. Okay, so these go here. Now, here's a tip on this one. On this one, make sure you don't glue all the way to the top. So if you do, you're going to get glue here and you're going to stick it to the back. So what I found works best on these particular ones is if you go kind of just around where the design is, of course all the way around on the other side, and then just around the corner. But you want to leave that middle piece open, okay? Can you see that? Let me bring it up. See how I left a little bit of opening there? That way, when I place this on here, hopefully it won't, the glue will not cover that hole. And let's see how we did. If it does, just make sure you wipe it off. See, I did get a little bit. Make sure you wipe it off there so that they don't stick together. Okay? So you want to cover every one of these with one of these, however you want to do it. And then on the inserts, these little tags, you're going to need 3 more 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. 3 3/4 by 2 5/8. And then I just rounded the corners instead of making them photo mats because they can journal with these or what have you. And then these go in here in our little pouch we've created, which is why you want to use the liquid glue instead of the score tape, which is my favorite for 3D projects. But if you did that, it would make the tag so tiny. There's one. And there's one. This one always seems to be the hardest to get in and out. I don't know if it's because I put too much glue on the bottom part or what, but there we go. Okay. And then this one. And I'll tell you, on my other one, I did make the little tags. I stamped a few sentiments. Hello, baby on that one. Welcome to the world. And those were from, what was it called? Something with the bear. Baby Bear. Got some stuff in there from Baby Bear. And then for my outside cover here, for this Hello Little Baby, that came from, that's the tag. And this is a 1 3/4 inch punch. I just did this, Hello Little Baby, and then I used those little hearts there. And then I scalloped the next biggest in blue and then the next biggest in cream and made that little top. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you try it out. It's a great way to use up all your pieces of pattern paper that you have been collecting but not using. And you can alter the project based on your pattern paper. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.